Hey, so guess what? We had our second son. He is officially in the building. His name is JoJo, and actually, he's been here for a little over 6 months. And the crazy thing is, we have 6 months of footage and video and clips of life with a newborn and, little Ivan being a big brother. And we can't show any of that simply because Ivan is a stickler for showing life in a chronological order. So basically, he is back in July, and we are currently in January. So hopefully this will speed things up. Just want to share with you guys our birth story. By the way, we have a toddler who is running around the house. So you're going to hear some noises. He's going to make some entrances and appearances, I'm pretty sure. So life, that's what it is. So the interesting thing is labor began on my due date.
Hey.
And this is the second time that this has happened because little Ivan, he came on his due date also. So contractions began and I was working through them and I was already set up. I was set up weeks in advance. I had all the blankets, I had the pool inflated. We had their clothes, my clothes, towels, the whole nine. Um, and so when labor began, I called my and so when labor began, I called my midwife and let her know we're ready to rock and roll. I know this is the real thing. And the crazy thing is, she was like, well, I'm at another birth. So I'm like, but she assured me that everything was going to be fine. She had an apprentice that she'd be able to send my way just to check on me and make sure things are progressing the way that they need to be. If in the unlikely event she was unable to come to the house, then the apprentice would be very well capable of taking care of everything that needed to be taken care of. But no worries, let's just see where I'm at. So that's what we did. She sent her apprentice, very, very sweet lady, very much informed and knew what she was doing, very confident. So she came upstairs and she did an internal exam, and that's where things got a little sticky because she was a lot more rough than what I'm accustomed to. You can't just handle my lady parts any old type of way. And with her being as rough as she was, it kind of jolted me and it just killed the vibe for me altogether. It got to a point where she had did something and was like, yeah, I want to shake up your hormones. Yeah, yeah, which was weird because I'm in labor. My hormones are already doing what they need to do. They don't need to be shaken up. As a result of that, labor essentially came to a screeching halt completely. Labor and contractions just stopped. And so I called my midwife, let her know what was going on, and we talked about it. She felt so bad, but I mean, that stuff kind of it happens. I've read about it in all the books that I've read to prepare for labor and everything. So it was interesting to experience it, but it was what it was. My midwife, she assured me that labor would begin again and to not worry. She actually came to the house and she spent the night with me just to kind of see if we could get labor back up and going. But JoJo was like, nah, I'm good. So a couple days later, sure enough, he said, all right, let's make it happen. Labor began in the middle of the night and it was on and popping. So I let Ivan know it was time for the pool to get filled because my contractions were intense.
Filling up the pool. Getting ready. Dell's in labor upstairs, which is the last thing she told me. She was a little disgruntled about it, I must admit.
Unfortunately though, me and Ivan, we had like a rift. And I don't remember the details, but I just remember things weren't all that great between us. And so the beginning of my labor wasn't positive. And you need that in order to have a very, very, very successful labor. I still had a very successful labor, but there were some challenges that came about during the labor that were kind of unnecessary. So we filled up the pool. I got down, and I didn't have JoJo in the pool. I didn't birth JoJo in the pool. The pool for me is more so just for relaxation during the labor. So for instance, when I was having the most intense contractions, my midwife, she would grab a jug of the hot water that I was sitting in, and she would just pour it on my belly while I was having the contractions. And oh my gosh, it definitely helped to change the game for me. It definitely helped to change the game for me. You want to see yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Hey. And I delivered an 8-pound, 10-ounce baby Hercules. And I actually delivered him on all fours. I delivered Ivan on a birth stool. And JoJo, I was on my hands and my knees. Hey, whoa. So in the midst of, oh man, but you're here. And I don't remember like the details of it all, but I'm taping. Excuse me. So much footage and clips and video of life with a newborn and life.
Hey, babe, I hate to interrupt.
That was a good run too.
You're missing a key piece of information.
You can see yourself. So anyways, so labor began in the middle of the night. You see yourself? Look. Hey.
How?
Hi.